What's good, YouTube? It's Kelo. So today's video I'm going to react to is Earthbending is the feature and the most progressive element in Avatar. See, this is why I remember I reacted to waterbending, and I said in that video that Earthbending was my favorite because I think Earthbending is more powerful in my opinion because relates to more defense and power and have both balance between. And that's why I always says Earthbending is like my favorite. And I'm actually a bit excited to see this because I know it's going to give us some good information about Earthbending. So let's watch.
How are you? I'm Slice of Otaku, and in the Avatar world, progression is the name of the game. With bending commonly being used as a martial art, things such as techniques and tradition tend to be passed down from generation to generation, and when executed properly, may lead to a more prosperous and plentiful future. And there is truly no better example of this than in the case of earthbending. Between the likes of Avatar Aang and Avatar Korra, earthbending has progressed more so than
She's the
any
reason why
other
I like
bending
Earthbending.
discipline, and as far as I can tell, isn't stopping anytime soon.
Metal bending.
Metal bending, metal bending, metal bending. Toph's contribution to the art can never be understated. As we all know, Toph is an incredible earthbender and arguably the greatest of all time.
The
But the
goats.
moment she became able to bend metal, she entered an entirely different league and is one that she has never been usurped from. Even at the age of 86, as far as we know, Toph still remains not only the greatest earthbender alive, but also the greatest metalbender alive. Upon seeing her, despite her elderly state, even the merciless Great Uniter Kuvira stood down immediately. But even with Toph levels being virtually unobtainable, metal bending is surprisingly quite accessible. Not too long after the end of the Hundred Year War, Toph opened up the Beifong Metal Bending Academy, with intentions of sharing her knowledge
And
with
the fact she can
others.
do all
At
of this
first,
and
she
she's
found her students
blind,
by
that's
using
like
her meteorite
incredible.
bracelet as she noticed slight vibrations in it whenever certain earthbenders would be in a heightened emotional state. However, she now firmly believes that any earthbender can learn metal bending, although its
I think so
difficulty may
too.
vary from person to person. So even though Bolin gave us the 1 in 100 metal bender statistic, it all just comes down to proper training and perseverance. With Earth by default being the most stubborn of all the elements, and metal bending being something extra a bender would have to seek out, it's no wonder why this is the case. But I'd argue that that statistic is only going to shrink more and more as time progresses, because even with the 1 in 100 figure, that is a major accomplishment for
That's
only
fire.
70 years of existence, and at this rate, metal bending will more than likely be similar to the bending of ice, in that the settling of waterbenders in the northern and southern poles greatly influenced their water bending, making ice bending second nature to the vast majority of them. Another similarity metal bending shares with water bending would have to be its versatility. From the Republic City Police, to architecture, to even interpretive dance, the applications of metal bending are endless. And with the world of Avatar's rapid technological advancement, such a convenient ability will only become more and more desirable. And with the likes of places like Zaofu, a metal bending metropolis on the cusp of innovation, a bright future for the art is all but secured. So, for the sake of including mech suits into the Avatar continuity, Earthbending was effectively nerfed by the distinction of platinum. Hiroshi Sato, the
Platinum.
inventor of the original mecha tank, made these suits of platinum as to make them immune to metal bending, as he even notes that not even Toph Beifong herself could bend such a pure metal. And I get the concept of a vehicle company possessing a lot of platinum, as in our world, more than half of the yearly production of platinum is used in industrial fields. But platinum must not be a rare or expensive resource in the Avatar world, because in ours, all of the platinum ever mined in the history of mankind is said to only be able to fill a basement of less than 25 cubic feet. Yet with Korra, we see an absurd amount of things made of pure platinum being made and destroyed in excess. And I know, The Legend of Korra for sure introduces some balancing issues, but this to me just felt really excessive. However, I will argue that each generation has its earthbending prodigy. We had Earth King
Ah,
Boomy and
yeah.
later Toph, so a metal bender that can bend even platinum is entirely possible. A fight with an earthbender can vary quite a lot depending on the type of earth they have at their disposal. You have sandbenders who very much adapted to the terrain, being able to
I,
traverse Earth
I,
Kingdom deserts
I
like none
remember this
other.
episode.
The aforementioned people of Zaofu who use metal bending quite a lot throughout their daily lives. And even the creeping Crystal Triad of Republic City, a criminal organization formed around the original creeping crystal, Genomite. This is a mineral in the world of Avatar that grows exponentially when in contact with organic matter. It may also be used as a light source, and even eaten as rock candy, making it quite the versatile little rock. So, an earthbender carrying even a small amount of this on their person could be a major difference maker. And this is only one mineral. It's crazy to think how many other types of crazy forms of earth there may be out there, and how they may be used by earthbenders. Now, to be honest with you, there's a lot I would like to discuss about this form of bending, but for the sake of staying on task, I'll save that for another video. However, although lava bending is
That looks
incredibly
cool.
rare right now, I do believe this will gradually change over time. Maybe not become commonplace, but a higher degree of prevalence. And as it stands, I'm very interested in where the Korra comic series will take it next, as Bolin has most recently left his temporary job with the Republic City Police. With such a rare ability, it'll be very interesting to see a proper application for it to come forth. Although, when it comes to destruction, you have to admit that it is pretty absurd. With it, even just a single person can break through the walls of Ba Sing Se, a feat unobtained for generations, something that not even the Dragon of the West, Prince Iroh, could accomplish with a sizable force over the course of 600 days. And I mean, even just being able to add heat to Earth is incredible, and opens the door for even more exploration of the discipline. The people of the Earth Kingdom are probably the least spiritually inclined people in this series, which to me makes sense based on their element. An earthly tether and certain stubbornness isn't exactly what I would call spiritually well endowed. But I think that with the spirit world now being more accessible than ever before, earthbenders have a chance to change this. I know we had the whole Kuvira spirit vines debacle, but I don't think things necessarily have to be that malicious or blasphemous. The bending potential of the spirit world has been largely untapped for the vast majority of the world's known history. So, keeping the concept of variety in mind, there's just so much that could be done. And contrary to what may innately be believed about earthbending, these days it seems to be an element of change and progression. As of the end of the Legend of Korra animated series, the Earth Kingdom is going to make a major change, going from a monarchy to a democracy. And really, such changes to the Earth Kingdom will certainly have an impact on earthbending and its subsequent culture. The Korra comic series intends to cover these developments, and I really wonder how they'll go about it. Will we see familiar faces like Suyi and Beifong running for office, or end up with some random new character's name on the ballot? And if it's the former, what sort of involvement may we expect from Zaofu going forwards? And if anything, establishing a sort of economic rehabilitation or reform has to be the primary objective for any candidates in the running, as the lower ring of Ba Sing Se and the state of various towns and villages have very much been left in deplorable conditions for generations upon generations. For decades, the Fire Nation profited most from the industrial progression sparked by the Hundred-Year War, but it's clear that this is no longer the case. Being a Capricorn, my elemental alignment as imposed by zodiac signs is said to be Earth, and as a kid, Toph made it the coolest element around. And it seems like a ton of you agree with that because when I
Yep.
asked which one you would like to see first on the community tab between Earth and Air, there was a bit of a landslide. The support, enthusiasm, and engagements have been incredible these past few videos, so thank you so very much, and I hope we can keep this train going. We've had quite the influx of new people joining in and subscribing, so welcome, welcome, welcome to our little slice of a nation. If you've yet to see our coverage of either water or fire, do yourself a favor and change that. Thank you all so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.
This was actually a pretty good video, and I haven't watched the whole core season, as I said that before on my past videos, but it's amazing to see how things evolve. Cause I watched Avatar, the first Avatar series with Aang, and I just remember how that era was, and then seeing Korra entering this new era, how everything gets evolving. It's just crazy with lava bending and so many other things I haven't seen, and it just made me want to see the series because I actually been watching Korra. I just haven't watched the whole series because I think I done watched like maybe like 10 episodes, but I'm not even all the way finished with that series. But it's just amazing seeing how everything evolves. But yeah, this was a good video, and if you have any other videos you would like me to see, just comment below and make sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.